with the Calder, Auston Matthews.
Hey, hi, hello. I'm in a video making mood today and I haven't made a video on my YouTube channel for a while, so I'm going to do that. The reason I'm in a video making mood is I was downtown at the CBC studios making some videos for the Sportsnet YouTube channel. I'm not going to reveal exactly what it is just yet, but it involves making 100 videos for the Sportsnet YouTube channel, and today we made 30 of them. But hey, who am I kidding? I had fun, and hey, you know what was fun? The NHL awards. Look, some people over the last few days were like, oh, why are they making us wait? Why are you making us watch the NHL awards? Well, on the podcast, we kind of discussed this a few months ago. Why don't they make the expansion draft a bigger deal? Why don't they make it a televised event? If I'm not mistaken, the first idea of the expansion draft was that Vegas would pick over the course of like 3 days or something like that. Even if I had that wrong and it was just they had that 3-day window and they get to pick at the end of it, TV, you gotta have it on TV. You gotta broadcast the thing. Hell, stream it on Twitch. Let me watch the thing. Do anything but nothing. Well, here's a smart idea. The NHL already has the NHL awards. They're in Las Vegas. You want to create as much hype around the NHL and Las Vegas as possible. Why not have the expansion draft at the NHL awards? Fans were going nuts and cheering at stuff at the NHL awards. I've even been to an NHL awards in Vegas. They didn't do that when I went 2 years ago. So on that note, and before we get to Mr. Hit 'em with a 4, we need to talk about what happened to the Leafs. I'm not going to spend that much time on what Vegas did as a whole. You know what? Go to capfriendly.com and you check out what they did, because guess what? Look at the team. Look at it, okay? Don't commit it to memory. Wipe your ass. Print it out. Spend the paper and ink to print it out and wipe your ass with it, because Vegas is going to make so many trades over the next 24 hours, over the next few days. They got this gap after drafting all these guys where they can flip them, and then there's the actual draft, and then there's free agency. This team that so many people are ranting and raving about is not actually the Las Vegas Golden Knights, so chill. Believe me, if I'm telling you to chill, maybe you need to chill. One guy who the Vegas Golden Knights are probably going to want to keep, unfortunately, comes from the Leafs. The Leafs lose Brendan Leipsic in the 2017 expansion draft. Now, is this bad? Yeah. Here's the thing you got to get out of the way. First and foremost, every single team in the National Hockey League, except for the Las Vegas Golden Knights, lost someone today. A lot of teams are actually really hurt today. There are a few teams, like, look at what Florida did. They already lose Marchessault, then they give up Riley Smith and a pick.
Actually, correction, Steve. It was Vegas giving Florida the pick. You can't be wrong on the internet. They will eat your face.
Then there were teams who didn't lose someone who they were really worried about, like the Minnesota Wild. They didn't lose a Matt Dumba. They didn't lose Marco Scandella. They didn't lose Eric Stahl. But they did lose Eric Holla and Alex Tuch. 2 guys. Then there were teams who were lucky enough to only give up 1 player, like the Ottawa Senators giving up Mark Methot, like the Washington Capitals giving up Nate Schmidt, which sucks for those guys because those guys were actually roster players for them. Then you had deals like the one with the New York Islanders where they don't give up a player like Calvin DeHaan, who they could have, but they have to give up a first-round pick. Now, the trade-off is that they get out from under a contract like Mikhail Grabowski's. How fast that's gone downhill. That's really sad. But they get out from under something, but they pay a high price for it. Don't! I'm making a video! Then, to me, there's the best-case scenario. A, you only give up 1 person, and B, that person is not a roster player for you. So, losing Brendan Leipsic sucks, and if the Leafs had suffered more injuries last season, sure, he would have played on the team, and he probably would have performed well based on his AHL performance, but that didn't happen. So when you really look at it, the Leafs starting roster from last year is unscathed. Very few teams around the league can say that. And it is a little heartless to say, but you know what? The Leafs have other Brendan Leipsics. Maybe not players who are quite as good as Leipsic, players who put up quite as many numbers, but look through the organization. Kasperi Kapanen was a call-up on this team. Kirby Reichel was a guy they could have lost. Seth Griffith, Andreas Johnsson. Go down the Leafs organizational depth chart. They are not short on wingers. Heck, even today I saw Mike Babcock talking about Miro Aaltonen competing for a spot in the Leafs. Holy smokes! So of course I'm not happy the Leafs lost Brendan Leipsic. I've been tooting that guy's horn on the podcast for over a year. You might as well have called it the Brendan Leipsic podcast, the amount that I talked about this guy. I love him. But Everybody lost someone. I gotta remind myself that. And at least it wasn't a roster player. It wasn't an Auston Matthews or a William Nylander. Now, I'm not going to go more into depth on the Vegas picks. I'm going to do a video eventually, but just, again, with the team that you currently see on capfriendly.com, wipe your ass with it. It's not the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm going to make a video either in the next day or so, maybe couple of days, because let the team develop. If I'm going to be talking about the Las Vegas Golden Knights and how they look as a team and how they performed at the expansion draft, I should probably wait till they're, done. Strange pick. Yes, they got him for cheap. Yes, they get a Las Vegas resident, but, Engo? Really? Emelin? Really? What did you get from Montreal? Nothing from Montreal? Why? And then, of course, you're probably going to ask me about the rumor that the Leafs are going to have Colin Miller from the Boston Bruins flipped to them. And it does make some sense. Young, right-handed defenseman, Corsi God, and he plays for a divisional rival who probably doesn't want to trade him to the Leafs. So guess what? Vegas takes him, then they can flip him. The rumor from Lance Hornby, and I didn't see this anywhere else, and who knows, maybe by the time this video goes up, it will be somewhere else, involves Seth Griffith and Connor Carrick going the other way to Vegas. Now, losing Seth Griffith, I don't know. I'm going to have a hard time getting really worked up about that. He's in his mid-20s. He's a prolific AHL scorer. Does he have what it takes to score in the NHL? I don't know, it kind of looks like it, but he had the opportunity to do it with the Florida Panthers, and he didn't really pull it off. Connor Carrick is where I get really worried, because Colin Miller, great young right-handed defenseman, he would certainly be an upgrade in the Leafs organization, on the Leafs roster, but the price is losing Connor Carrick? I don't know if I'm down with that, man. He's right-handed. He's got NHL experience. He's got Leafs experience, Mike Babcock experience, which we know is important. And he has the potential to develop into, I don't know, a Colin Miller? I just look at it this way. Any trade where the Leafs are going to get rid of a Connor Carrick, the replacement better be way better than Connor Carrick. Not just a little upgrade, because Connor Carrick's age might make up for that little upgrade. He needs to be way better. Is Colin Miller way better? Good, I hope so, if it's true. But again, it's all speculation. We don't know yet. And again, this is why I'm not going too in-depth. One thing I will look at with the Las Vegas Golden Knights, holy smokes, their draft picks. Look at all of this. They lose a couple mid-round picks next year, but look at this ridiculous year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks in the first 2 rounds, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 picks, including all 7 of their own. Get this, as it stands right now, the Knights will pick 6th overall, 13th overall, and 15th overall. The Leafs pick 17th overall, meaning Vegas will have 3 picks in the first round before the Leafs make 1. Which is why, so far, even though I disagree with a bunch of the picks Vegas made, I gotta give them props because they acquired a lot of assets. They went for quantity instead of quality, and they got a bunch of picks. You can flip that quantity for picks. You can get even more picks. Vegas is going young. We sort of talked about this on the podcast. If Vegas wanted to go out there and get a decent team for right now, they could have done it. Instead, they seem to be choosing to build through the draft, which is how you win championships. Look at all the other teams around the league. So I'm going to cut it off there because things are just changing way too quickly and I kind of want to go to bed. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. Tell all your friends. I got a bunch of stuff going up on the Steve Dangle blog on sportsnet.ca. I really hope you guys are checking that out. Subscribe to this damn channel because I am trying to hit 100,000 subscribers and let silly season roll on. This is fun. Ha ha. Apparently I'm a little rusty at this video making thing. Steve, you told him you were going to talk about Auston Matthews. You're right, Steve. I should do that. What is there to be said other than hit him with the phone like Auston Matthews? And now we can hit him with the Calder. Auston Matthews being awarded the Calder Trophy as the NHL's Rookie of the Year. Deservedly so. All year long it was a debate, Matthews versus Laine, Matthews versus Laine, and Laine's injury may have tilted things in Matthews' favor, for sure. But for as close as it was for a while, holy smokes was the vote nowhere near. Here are the votes from Elliot Friedman. Check this out. First of all, William Nylander and Mitch Marner both getting serious consideration for this thing. Marner finishing 5th, Nylander finishing 6th. Matt Murray with a little bit of love finishing 4th. Who cares? He's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. I know he doesn't care. Auston Matthews, 164 first place votes and 3 second place votes. No need for 3rd, 4th, and 5th because no one was dumb enough to put him there. Patrick Laine, 3 first place votes, which is kind of funny because Matthews had 3 second place votes and 134 second place votes. Just to make sure you're all processing this, there are only 3 out of the 167 voters who didn't pick Matthews as first. The other 3 are obviously from Winnipeg, I assume. And get this is my favorite. This is why out of all the Leafs amazing rookies, these guys are the big 3. If you combine the votes that Auston Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander received, you get 164 first place votes, 6 second place votes, 21 third place votes, 66 fourth place votes, and 92 fifth place votes. According to my calculator, that is 349 votes cast for Leafs. 349, very fitting because Auston Matthews wears 34 and he turned the 6 upside down. It's a 9 now, 349, you see. And on that note, it's time to end it. Subscribe to the damn thing that I do.